It's all good. It's all
Ah,
good.
oh, really? Well, you look good though. Welcome,
Good, good,
Chris.
good. Yes. I always look good.
Welcome. Well, this is live mostly for us. We won't have many people watching because there's another live going on at this moment.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I'll tell you what, Chris. I've had moments where I played session zeros, right? And
Hmm.
then I think it was with online, and they said, "Oh, aren't you going to record?" Ah, no, I mean, it's fine. It's just for
Hmm.
us. And then I lost my character sheet.
Okay.
And like,
Gotcha.
man, if I had recorded it, they really could go back and see
Mm-hmm.
what I had wrote.
Yeah,
Yeah, how
that
you
is
guys
true.
doing?
I'm doing great. Doing fantastic.
Doing okay.
Awesome.
Yay. Is this Mo of I think official debut, right?
Well, we did the session 0 for another
That's
game.
true, that's true. So it's not
Hmm.
more your debut. So we talked, right? We're gonna do a supers game. But
Hmm.
we're kind of favoring more towards manga, like shonen type of supers, right? We
Yeah,
we,
that's
we
my.
toss some words such
Yeah.
as My Hero Academia,
Hmm.
One Punch Man, and this system is all about anime and fighting games.
Cool.
So I got excited. I think it's a great premise. And talking about premises, what are some other inspirations, things you guys, what got you hooked? What are things you'd like to explore?
I've got a lot that I can talk about.
Go for
Um, so I guess a lot of this is kind of like for these sorts of games. I really like it when there's kind of like uh, some sort of complex premise or kind of like a complex society or something kind of like complex socially going on. Because a lot of times I feel that anime games or like fighting games or like superhero games can kind of devolve into just like talking about the powers a lot and then just like you go into the city and there's a monster and you need to save people so you fight the monster and it's like in terms of uh creativity and interest, it's kind of like it kind of like tops out really quickly. Uh, so I really want there to be some sort of complicated premise or like social aspect. Um, to give examples, I think uh, sort of like I mean I talked to this background by the way. The city background is from my session zero with Silva, and I think what we did, me and Pancake did was like we kind of like set up a rivalry where I'm like kind of like a cosmic hero and he's a street level hero and like I look down on him and then there's kind of like different gradations. So we kind of like set up the kind of like superhero society to have like tiers or classes and then we have kind of like we're playing around with classism in our game. So that's the plan for that game. So that's kind of like an example. This makes sense.
What about you, Mo?
let's see. Inspirations, ideas. I think I've seen like the first season of My Hero Academia. I've watched a lot of Justice League media. I like the Justice League movies, animated movies. Um, so I tend to think more uh, standard superhero tropes. But uh, I guess one idea I was floating around just now is thinking maybe there's some event that is making a bunch of existing heroes go bad. Like someone has shown up that has said,
Mhm.
kind of like a Magneto situation, like, "Hey, we're better than all the normal people. Join me, and we're gonna take on the world," kind of deal. And maybe there's a bunch of maybe there's people who are holding out. So it's like, okay, well, I don't actually want to do this, but it seems like maybe they're getting the upper hand. So there's kind of this contention going on of like, how do you decide? It's like, am I going to be a hero that I've always been, or try to be a hero, or am I going to go along with this trend of joining with not necessarily the bad guys, but joining with this group that seems to think that people with powers are better than everybody else. That's just a random idea that I had, though.
All
How do
right.
you vibe with that, Chris?
How do I vibe with that? That sounds pretty compatible. It sounds like there's some sort of dynamics going on, which is kind of like,
Mhm.
should we create our own society or not? Um, w- what kind of tone do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to do kind of like light? Do you want to do kind of like the boys ish, or like injustice, or something else? I generally prefer light stuff, but I'd be down to. It sounds like the premise that Mo's pitching is a little bit darker in some ways. So
It doesn't have to be necessarily. It could just be, you could go back and
mhm,
we could roll it back and do superhero school, right?
mhm,
Roll it
mhm.
back and do
Mhm.
superhero school where there's drama between teens because they're trying to pass superhero classes, and you get, oh, that's a great idea actually. If you've ever seen the movie Sky High, where there's like the sidekick versus
Uh,
hero
Yeah,
difference, I've always found that idea really really funny.
superhero
that is
school.
a crack house movie for sure. I've seen that movie a few times. Yeah.
And basically the premise of that movie is
Hmm.
you when you first show up to school, you're either assigned hero or sidekick based on how
On
cool
your
your power
power. Yeah.
is.
Well, how
Gotcha.
And then
useful it is, really.
there's contention between the kids who are the heroes and the kids who are the sidekicks.
So
Gotcha.
I vibe with light as well. I think I've been in quite a few. The last Supers game I've played or am about to play are more into dark,
Mhm.
more. And I think I kind of want to vibe with the aesthetic of more colorful stuff. I wouldn't be opposed to things getting violent and like decapitation could happen accidentally.
Sure.
Uh, Look who we
Hello there.
have
You guys hear
Yo
me okay?
yo.
early in the thing. Hey Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I was in a date, so things went well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look
Whoa,
at
nice.
that. It comes to my stream, mugs me live, comes late. What do you think this is?
Are you
But
streaming
Sorry, guys, I
Second
was having
Zero?
a good time without you.
yeah, with a lady. Came here to let you
Are you
nerds
guys
gaze upon
deciding
me.
anything yet?
Yeah, so we were just started. We were kind of deciding like what is the vibe of this superhero world. Like, we kind of leaning towards playing with the social conflict of things, like the superhero dynamic or the superhero society, how they treat one another. Is there some form of classism going on?
Yeah.
And we could also like talk about as from super powered people with normal people as well, like what is kind of the dynamic. Does the government, like, how much hand does the government have?
Mhm.
But we're trying to set first like the tone. Like, are we going for something lighter?
Yeah.
We're mostly leaning towards light. Then as you join, I was about to say I like light, though I don't want like to infantilize the thing, right? So like if a building falls on top of civilians, like they're
Mhm.
dead. There's gonna be
Sure.
blood, but like you're not
So we're
specifically trying to.
not focusing on the gore aspect of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not like The Boys or it's just gratuitous. I really like the level of gore that Invincible has, because Invincible
Mhm.
is very much heroic. It does not shy away from doing the heroic thing, like the virtue, but is
Gotcha.
also very grounded at certain times, right? And I think it's a really nice blend of the superhero media, which is not it's not cynical at all. I don't like ironic and cynicism in my art.
Gotcha.
in my stories. But I don't know how you guys land with that. Is that kind of what we're talking about?
I think so. I think Invincible is kind of like, in some ways, it is a little darker than
Mhm.
the super classic Justice League type thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
We can go
intermediate.
lighter. When I mentioned that is like when remove
Hmm.
like the essay, remove what
Sure.
genocide, and you would have what I'm envisioning, which
Gotcha.
is just to say like if you have super strength and you punch a normal villain who's just a human, like, and you don't hold back, you're
Hmm.
probably gonna kill him by accident. Like
Sure.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like we still, the world has some sense of logic.
Hmm.
If you have fire powers, you burn someone, they're gonna survive as a burn victim. It's not just gonna
Sure.
be. But now, if you're fighting another super villain, like, you can kind of like go all out. You want. Well,
Right.
you'll hurt him, but it's not gonna be like hurting a normal person.
Gotcha. Um. So when it comes to, I guess, before we kind of like talk more about tone, I am kind of curious if, um, basically, if kind of like what the GM wants in terms of how much gameplay is kind of like superheroic combat, and how much the game supports superheroic combat and kind of other stuff. Do we want to do like a combat focused game? Because I kind of
Mhm.
like, if we're talking about different plot ideas, I think kind of arranging it in some sort of arena, or like we're forced to fight, and that would obviously be a darker story,
Mhm.
but it would also be kind of, we would get a lot of fights,
Mhm.
so um
I would like to. The last times I played the system, combat did not happen as much. I think it
mhm,
would be cool to really push with the power level. Like,
mhm.
you can level buildings, if you
Right,
have a
right, right.
decent power level. Like, yeah, you can like team up on a kaiju, and try to take it
Gotcha.
down. Since it's mostly like the game is about anime, like, I'm really thinking like the spectacle of it, like
Gotcha.
describing like your special attack, and like, a crater shows in a place, and if the guy is strong, he's still standing, kind of deal.
Okay. It sounds kind of like the premise should have lots of things to fight.
Yeah, but
um
here's the thing: like, it needs to have the social. I agree with you. Like, if it's just fight for fight's sake, like you just do it in
right.
an arena, which is why I think session zero is so important, because then we tie your characters to the premise, and then it
Right.
makes meaningful. It's not just bad guy number 5.
Hmm. We could do um
So a great way
some sort
to
of
keep
killing
things.
game thing or something.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Or just like a battle royale type
Oh, okay.
scenario.
Because what I was thinking is if we want to have a lighter tone that still
Sure.
includes combat, we could play younger characters that are in like in school or doing like a
Hmm.
training assignment, or it's like
Right.
a tournament against other students or something like that. Or it's a game of
Mhm.
capture the flag, but with robots that try to stop you.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just trying. What I was thinking in my mind is kind of like, uh, if we're doing light and combat heavy,
What it looks like.
yeah, yeah, I don't know what that would look like. So it would be kind of like
Remember,
basically,
like,
The first things that come to mind when you say light and combat heavy I think it would be the Dragon Ball Z tournament type of fight.
the
yeah,
tournaments,
that was the one where like Goku. I didn't watch that season, but the
the
Goku was
classic one,
dead, and then he was okay, maybe I'm thinking of a different arc, but he was like dead, and then there was like this arena with that cat person, all that stuff.
That's the latest one, which is also an arena, but it's blown out of proportions in terms of
Right,
power scale.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking like usually in these like in Japanese supers and like
Mhm.
and the branch offs like Kamen Rider and stuff, like you're fighting monsters or monster people.
Mhm.
So it can be light, but because you're fighting like a monster, there's not that much. At least for the monster, like you can destroy the monster. It's like it's not a person. It's like eating people and stuff. So you're more like fighting
Right.
creatures. Um,
I
and
think
they
we
and
can
they
keep.
have like their
I
own
think we can
powers.
go towards the more violent type, but just not focus on the blood or
Yeah.
dismembering or
Yeah. Well,
because I would imagine it would be something like Power Rangers, maybe that
mhm.
when they hit the monster, they just explode in
Sparkles.
sparkles or something.
Right. So I guess what I see as the kind of like the conflict between light and combat heavy is if we say, oh, okay, well, it's like skeletons or it's robots or it's like mindless monsters, then it becomes not very interesting. If it's combat heavy, it's like, okay, we've got the ghost, the spirit, and we beat it up. I feel like if we're doing combat heavy, we probably want to have it so it's like other people that are real characters and that give the stakes to that. Um, so that's kind of the conflict I see between light and combat heavy. And I'm willing to do kind of like a light game where the focus is not so much on combat, or I'm willing to do like a darker game where we have a lot of combat. I just see it as a kind of a weird space if we wanted to do light and combat heavy. You know what I mean?
It's kind of why I suggest like
The kids.
some sort of prepared scenario where we're like a tournament or
Yeah.
a game, like a game. It's like a game between superpowered individuals where the goal isn't it's not malicious,
Sure.
but using powers is still part of the game or sport.
Mhm.
But would you want to eliminate the like living a normal life aspect of it as well in between conflict? Which still has conflict, it's just not
Yeah.
killing evil alien.
I'm down for that. I would okay. Man, I've got all these demands and opinions.
Okay, that's what session 0 is for.
So like, I am totally down to have kind of like superhero world and then kind of like normal life. One problem I have with that as kind of like a TTRPG thing is that what tends to happen is that we all team up. The three of us are teaming up and we're beating up something or we're doing some superhero stuff. And then we all split off and go home and like, okay, I need to go, work at the car dealership or I need to go to school or something, some like individual stuff. And I feel like that can kind of suck because it's always going to be like me and the GM role playing for a while, and then we cut to somebody else, and they're doing stuff. So it's like, it's going to be a little inefficient if we each have our own individual, mundane lives. I think it would be cool if we did do kind of like secret identity. We did it like the Power Rangers, or we did it like like we all know each other as normal people, and then we also have this super thing that we all do together too. So that would be like we're interacting as normal people, and we're also interacting as superheroes.
Okay, so we're like a team, or we're an organization.
Yeah, my main thing. Yeah, my main thing would be like if we are splitting off in our normal lives, it's going to be a bunch of one-on-one GM stuff, which is like
which can be. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, those are just some thoughts.
Did you guys watch? I forgot the name of the movie, but it was a movie. Some guys found a meteorite falling in a forest. They went to touch, then they gained their powers together.
Yeah. And one of them
Maybe
is like a psychic, and he
yeah,
like
a
he goes
telekinetic.
evil.
Yeah, that movie because maybe we got our powers the same way or something
Yeah.
like that, and then we're learning how to use them together.
hmm
So I liked Mo's idea of us being more younger side.
hmm
How young are you guys
Yeah.
talking? Because I don't wanna GM my kids.
No,
Maybe.
no kids. I was
They're like
thinking
18
maybe
year olds, something like that.
yeah,
Okay.
college stuff or
Yeah. So can I make a request of the Mr. GM here? Can you open
or
up
even
like a notepad and we can kind
I
of
have
organize
one
stuff?
open. Yeah, I can share.
Yeah.
or even university or something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
But then I don't think I like the idea of tournaments that much.
hmm
I think it would be
Yeah.
too. I mean, it would become just more game and less role playing in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. What
The
I was
reason
thinking is
I
there would have to be a different level to it. It wouldn't just be like we all want points and we're all going to beat each other up for points. It would be something like, the world is that threat and there's an evil alien overlord and like he's offering us this, and then there's kind of like parts where we're out of the game and we're like investigating the game or something like that. It would be I totally agree that kind of just like arena beating each other up
Mhm.
just by itself would be boring.
Yeah. The reason I do want combat to to be a major thing is because combat can be role played.
hmm
It would be interesting to really make creative use of your powers. Co-create elements to make use of those powers. I think could be like very interesting, like watching an episode of like the things we mentioned so far. But yeah, just combat for combat's sake, I don't think it's interesting. It needs to have a background,
hmm
and I think it's where your characters would come in. Like depending on what kind of guys you make, we could go a different way. Does that make sense?
Sure. Okay. So we all agree that we want a good amount of combat. We want combat in this game, I think.
Sure.
Cool. Locked.
Okay.
Um,
So it is a world with many supers, right?
uh,
And when I say supers, it's like people have different powers, basically. It's like it's common to like every other month a
yeah.
new individual with like tech or magic or mutation show up.
I think that that would be more fun for a TTRPG, just
Mhm.
because if you were to contrast that with some other superhero story where it's like there's an alien meteor and we all get powers, and who are the bad guys? Well, there's only one type of alien that's evil,
Mhm.
and then we fight those evil aliens. Like, I think
I
that's
think a
okay for a
roster.
movie, but that's like, yeah, there's not. I feel like having a lot of crazy superhero powers is
Mhm.
more interesting.
Yeah. So do we agree with that?
Yeah, I don't quite like that, but it's fine for me. I was
Why you don't
thinking
like it?
a bunch of super villains or superheroes. Because you guys were saying about power level and stuff. Maybe there could be people that have some sort of power, but they're not a superhero, or
Yeah, no, like
it would be just
people.
powers would be uncommon but not common.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
Are
like
you?
it's not like right now a super powered person. It's just that like you were walking one day to work and you saw something like two guys fighting in the air. Like and you had to run away. Like when you think of like X-Men, for example, every other day a new guy shows up and they have to go downtown to like stop the guy because he's causing a ruckus, you know.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I think that works.
Yeah, so
I'm not really keen on something like My Hero Academia.
I
gotcha.
never watched it either. I only know One Punch Man.
Yeah, so for that, the premise is that like literally 80% of the population has powers, but they're mostly like shitty powers. So the idea is that like not only is it kind of like, oh, there's somebody that has powers, it's like I have powers. I work in an office and like I'm a normal guy, but I have powers. So that's
think
the distinction that I think Silva's trying to make.
Maybe maximum like 10% of the world has powers, and that's too much, you know. It's just like every city is going to have like a few dudes with powers. Besides, you know, the eventual kaiju or scientist, you know, machine doomsday device goes crazy, and there's always something happening that requires valiant heroes to save the day.
Gotcha.
Give me a sec.
Okay.
Was that be it?
So, if Chris is looking for something where it's kind of like classes, or there's kind of like this distinction between people who have powers and don't have powers, or power levels, what you could do, maybe as an idea, is there is a threat, but it's more like that threat has said, I'm basically announcing an open challenge to either me or to my minions, and anyone can participate. And so you have this thing where maybe there's people who are trying to take on these minions of this bad guy who are not prepared for it.
Gotcha. So this is kind of like what you're proposing is kind of like the villain is causing chaos by like baiting people to fight his minions, sort of, and like he's offering them something. So what's happening is that there's all these battles happening, but it's not kind of like a war. Is that kind of like the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
I dropped like 5 times now, but any of you have ever watched One Punch Man? Because it's eerily similar to what happens there.
I have watched a couple episodes, but I don't know much around the kind of like the premise beyond just like the Satama guy.
Yeah, no, ignore the main protagonist. I mean, like, kind of how the world is organized.
Sure.
The idea is you have like the superhero agency who catalogs and registers supers. So in order for you to be a valid super, you have to be registered. Because again, like every other week, something shows up causing damage to everything and killing people to varying degrees of power. And these monsters, they have their own, like, you find out that in like season 2, like they have their own organization, and they too are trying to climb in power. And what they have to do is they have to go to the surface and like cause enough damage and come back to be promoted as a higher level monster. And monster is a loose term for like basically a super villain. And the heroes, they have this class thing because they have the S heroes A, B, C, D. And there's a thing where you can also get promoted depending on how much crime fighting you do. And there's a lot of contention of even like some heroes sabotaging other heroes so they don't get a promotion, because there's a set number of there can only be this number of A heroes. So if you want to go to like the bottom of the A list, the last guy needs to get demoted, basically.
Right.
So like you go to a place, something happens, you run to the place to try and like defeat the monster. Another hero is there. It becomes like basically a match of who gets to defeat the guy first.
Okay.
If you're going with the more greedy, like I want the fame, I want the glory. And even if you don't, the other guy might be a little bit more like, nah, I want the fame. Don't walk into my turf, kid. Kind of
It's
deal,
an
you know?
interesting idea to have heroes basically
Gotcha.
against each other for fame or for
Yeah.
ranking.
I think that that's good. I guess One Punch Man treats it kind of silly, right? So
It goes with the series, yeah, because it's making fun of the whole thing, right? It's more of a
right.
parody, but it gets serious at times, which is why I like it. Honestly, it is making fun of a genre while also embracing it. You know, like yeah, this is
Mhm.
silly, but like it's also cool.
Okay. I think that premise works, where it's kind of like we are very focused on our like fame and careers, and that's going to be something that kind of um focuses us, or kind of like puts things into perspective. So we're kind of like competing, and we're fame hungry. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, and you can play a guy more moral. You know, like he
Mhm.
he cares for it, but like still, like most of the heroes, like they still put people's safety first.
Mhm.
It's just that if I can get an edge on this other hero and like come out as the actual, you know, the guy who saved the day, that's much better.
Yeah, I kind of like this idea personally. I vibe with it.
It's like a
Sure.
friendly competition, and sometimes it may be not too friendly, you know, but it's lighthearted.
Gotcha.
What about you, Solo? What do you think of that?
I like that. I said I like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
like heroes compete for heroism. Would be something like
Yeah.
that.
So uh
So would people would because it the first thing that came to my mind was like maybe my superhero is some sort of streamer.
Mhm.
yeah, I was also thinking
Booster
like,
build, yeah.
is okay, so uh uh, is it silly? Like, is this like, are we kind of like, because what I'm thinking right now is sponsorships. My character wants to get sponsorships.
Oh, 100%. I
This is
think like
cool. I
that
like
would be
that
a
idea.
thing, you know, like
So like,
agencies like
okay,
are hungry for heroes because it's free publicity if you get a good hero to do a partnership with you.
gotcha. Okay, so there is kind of that sort of tone is what we want. I think that works. Yeah.
Yeah. Like again, like once like, you know, little crab man shows up, is like, I'm gonna turn everyone into a crab. It's like, haha, you defeat him. But then like giant Godzilla shows up and is actually killing people. It's like, okay, now you gotta be serious and like defeat him. We leave
Okay.
sponsorship for that. You know, like there is like this dynamic of we take things lighthearted, but they're still heroes. I think the virtue of the hero should be a thing that is present.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Sort of. So like, okay, for the like, I really want to try to bite into this tone here. So okay, so if there is a guy that wants to turn everyone into crabs,
Yeah,
that
he's
sounds
weak.
serious to me.
Say he's weak. It's like notoriously known as like one of the F villains out there, you know. He escaped
Okay,
again. It's like
but
people
so
don't take
like,
him too seriously.
okay,
Here, think about it.
but
Here,
can he
maybe.
do that? Can he turn everyone into crabs or no?
I give maybe a bad example, you know, but like
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to like, I feel like there's different levels that you can engage on that with it, which is like,
Mhm.
if there's a villain that wants to turn everyone into crabs, like I would prefer to be like a character who's terrified of that and wants to defeat him, even though
Mhm.
kind of like objectively, okay, reading the comic, that would be a little silly. Like there's a,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
the one I linked
You
in
linked?
Silva's channel, there is Gorilla Grodd, and he has a
Yeah.
plot to turn everyone into gorillas,
Uh-huh.
and all the characters take that seriously,
Yeah.
which is like, oh, okay, they're like, we need to stop this. This is kind of like this could harm society. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we don't want people to be turned into gorillas. We need to stop him. We need to kind of like collect our forces and defeat this guy. So it's like I don't want us to be like, oh well, this particular villain, he's just a joke. Like he's a silly Billy. And I would prefer that even if the villain is kind of like objectively stupid from outside the comic, I want us
Mhm.
to be taking the threat seriously.
Hmm.
Oh,
I-
yeah, yeah.
I kinda-
like I said, I think I gave a bad example.
Maybe this is just me, and I'm not trying to be argumentative for the sake of
Sure.
being argumentative.
No, yeah.
But
These are just my preferences. So
I
I want to hear
like
it
the
all.
idea that maybe we exist in a future society where solving some of these physical ailments that people get from some villain that like mutates them is pretty easy to fix. Like it's pretty easy to turn someone back from a crab into a person for whatever reason.
Okay.
Like and so guy who turns people into crabs, even though that's bad, in the face of some other threat, might not be that big of a deal. And so a choice kind of has to be made between, do we focus on crab guy or do we focus on this other thing? And
Mhm.
if you're a streamer, you might be like, I'm not saying this is a good thing, but you could be someone who's like, oh, I really need to get crab guy to turn this dude into a crab so I can get people to click on my video. It'll make a great thumbnail. And like that's not good, but
It's a morally gray hero.
it's a morally gray hero. But it's
Gotcha.
kind of
a
the
morally
idea.
brown hero, I would even say.
So that's just what I think.
Right. So like I'm okay with playing with silly ideas, but
Mhm.
I think
They have to be played
if-
straight.
if the characters aren't taking them seriously, like you could like the example that you gave, like it seems like that guy would be like sick and twisted to do that with this
Mhm.
as the streamer hero that
Makes
wants
no
to like
sense.
I let people be turned into crabs for my career. Like I don't like the idea where it's kind of like the characters aren't taking it seriously or there's no
Mhm.
kind of like
Yeah, I agree.
internal so it's like
I gave a bad example. Let's not
sure
talk about Crab
yeah
Man,
let's
okay?
why don't we what's a low grade hero?
Hyper focus on Crabman.
A low
Yeah.
grade villain,
Mhm.
All I'm saying is that
the basic
I
like
would like the
bank
door to be
robber, let's
open
say.
for maybe not one of our characters, but for maybe a hero who doesn't do great things to be
Yeah.
acceptable with that.
Mhm.
Would that
Yeah,
be a villain though? Or would that be like
that'll be like a like the Punisher kind of guy, But
All right.
because like you have like when you have supers, right? You have like the good boys that they never do wrong. You have like kind of the vigilantes who's like they're doing good, but like they're willing to break rules in order to do what they think is best.
Mhm.
And I have people who are like one day they're doing good, they're doing bad, and then you go like the scale from the villains. You go into villain territory.
sorry, I didn't follow that.
Like
what about that?
if you check any roster of any superhero like franchise, like you have a
Right.
spectrum, right, of how much are you willing to break rules, and then from rules of how much harm are you willing to cause for your objective, and then all the way to like villainy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you always have that. I would rather you guys stayed mostly on like we're trying to
Sure.
be good, but like that doesn't mean that NPCs won't be from the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah. I no, yeah. I'm not so what I'm trying to talk about is not like the good and evil question. It's which is like, is this serious? I could actually let me go on a little bit of a rant here.
Do it.
There was a recent Reddit post that I commented on. And I think I might get banned on Reddit for this. But let me pull it open because I think it's kind of interesting.
Okay.
And it relates to this topic.
How auspicious.
Yes.
Oh. If we were a superhero on the UNPC today, I'm gonna be.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny. Let's see. Can you pull that up, Nicholas? Or I could actually open it and share
You can
it.
share, and I can. Yeah.
Okay, let me do that.
Can't
Come on,
believe.
StreamYard.
You know you are cursing this game for pulling Reddit on it, right? On its sessions.
Sure. Okay. So this is a Redditor, and he's got this idea. I've had an idea. It's a one-shot, take place in a dark cult hideout, secret harem. The PCs will be level 1 to 2 warlocks, and they're trainees interns. And like any real life underpaid, no payments at all interns, trainees, they're ordered to go on errands like sweeping the floor, organize their scroll shelves. One day, when the higher ups hold a meeting, they're ordered to go get a drink from Tiamat. Blah blah blah. They go to the coffee shop, which is like crazy. There's a lot going on in this post. But it's like this guy has this idea where it's kind of like the joke is that it's kind of like a mundane thing for these characters. Like you're a warlock, but you're also just like an intern. So you gotta go get coffee, and the coffee is magic, and there's hazards or whatever the fuck. And so I post this idea sucks. And so it's like, as a player, when I come to the D&D table, I want some sort of adventure that makes my character seem cool and allows me to make choices in the world. Making them do mundane or humiliating errands is not interesting. This would be good for a parody cartoon or something like that, not for a TTRPG session. So
yeah,
I think that a lot of times there can be I basically want to stay away from making things kind of like
goofy.
Well, not just goofy, but like routine. So if we had villains and like every day, like, oh, it's this villain again. All right, let me check my watch. Like, I know that I think One Punch Man kind of plays with that, which is like the main character. I know the main character is a little different than all the other characters, but like, I would prefer it to not be that, because then it becomes really hard to understand, like, what's like a joke threat and what's not a threat or something like that.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
So like that's kind of what I'm thinking, which is like for the villains, I want them to be like, we all take the villains seriously. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. That's just kind of like how I feel, because it's like I don't want to do a parody game.
Okay, how about this?
I think I agree.
If heroes are kind of on a roster, then the heroes do take villains seriously. But what they try to one up each other on is saving as many people as possible and taking out the villain. That's what they try to one up each other on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Or minimizing damage to the city or what have you.
Pets are taken seriously. Even though it's light, pets are taken seriously. I believe that would be the thing. So power level, like power scale. I'm okay. So the way the game works, you don't really randomize your character, you build them. So you need to kind of either go with a concept or explore it a bit. And you can make him as strong as you want, really, like within the limitations of a starter character. But the thing with the genre is like, it's not really about the power you have, is how clever you are with using it to your advantage, So if you have a weaker power compared to, I mean, take Batman and Superman, for example, like they're in completely different levels, but like they take on their threats head on in their own way. But like, what are you guys thinking when it comes to power scale?
I actually kind of disagree with the Batman versus Superman, because in the DC cartoons, they always have like, here's the giant ogre that Superman has to fight, and then here's like the other guy with a laser gun that Batman has to fight, and make
No,
sure
I
there's only
mean,
these
but
two,
but
and
you
Batman
don't
takes this
understand
guy
what I
and
mean.
Superman takes that guy.
You don't understand what I mean.
Sure,
like,
sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Batman is not going head first with like Brainiac or what's his name, Darkseid.
Mhm.
But he's fighting his fight on his own way. Like he's fighting with his jet. Like he's fighting the way he can. You know, he's dealing with the problem the way he can. Is what I mean.
Yeah, but the writers have to do that for him, basically.
Yeah, but that's him. Like if he goes head first, he's gonna get slapped and
No, I think the writers do it. Like
vivisected.
I mean,
What do you
Brainiac,
mean?
like the Brainiac could just be like, "Oh, I see Batman fighting over there." Pew, blow him up.
But there's the
He
thing.
doesn't
Brainiac
do
is like Brainiac is dealing with Flash, Wonder Woman at the same time. They have like 3 people dogpiling on him. You know, if
Sure.
he. So you guys gonna be in a team as 3 people. What I'm saying
Right.
is, if you decide to go with a guy who's not as strong, I mean, there's still the system. You can still eat quite a lot of damage,
Mhm.
and your eating damage could be exoskeleton, could be armor, could be a force field, could be anything really. It's
Okay.
more for flavoring.
Gotcha. So actually, sorry,
you could go wide or tall, is what I mean.
So in the game, is there like a power level stat, or is there kind of like a, this is the Superman,
There
this is the Batman?
are there are scales which I don't think we should play with it.
Okay.
Like you're gonna be like basic hero, like a human, so to speak.
Mhm.
But like monsters will be a scale above, and I'll explain how scales work later on. But it's mostly like how like you and Silva could have the same power. You could all be adding 5 to your die. What's gonna make you guys different is the advantages, like the abilities. Like he can do fire stuff. You can
Sure.
elongate your limbs. Like that's what's gonna play differently and ramificate in many ways during play.
So like when it comes to it, is it like, so there aren't like different kind of like cosmic super god versus Batman? It's in the system. This is kind of like,
We could start off like that, but it's arbitrary. Like you'd have to choose to be a high level, and I think it's more interesting if you go with just the basic characters. Like your basic character is gonna be the hero.
Have you taken a look
a
on
normal
the-
human will be
Sorry
like
to interrupt. Let me ask. Have you taken a look at the character creation yet?
I flipped through it, but I did not read it closely.
Because you have like 10 points and you can buy stuff with it.
Mhm.
So you could buy you could buy a stat. So you can buy like, oh, I want 4 power or I want 4 resistance. Or you could either buy
more
a technique
more
or a
advantages,
spell.
which are the powers. Yeah.
Yeah. So we start with
Okay.
10 points to buy stuff.
Got you.
So you can even start with 0 power, but have like a bunch of spells, different spells or advantages.
Okay.
And that's how you build your character. So what I'm saying is you could go really weak if you want to, and I'm fine with that. But like, are you fine with that? Like, do you want that? Do you want amongst yourselves to have like?
So a really weak character would be one that's built with 10 points, but has like stupid abilities or like shitty abilities.
Depend. Like, you could make it like a balanced character. You won't have too many attributes. You're gonna have 2 or 3 advantages, which are powers.
Okay.
You could. It's like building tall or building wide. But that's a personal choice. But when I ask about scales, like the type of threats you guys gonna be fighting, like if you have a Batman kind of guy, and then Silva is playing a I don't know, like what's his name, like
I
what's
think
his name? Wonder
if
Woman,
yeah, if we're doing kind of like a combat oriented game, I don't think that it's a good idea to have like this will instantly kill Batman, like sort of
No,
threats.
by
You
rules
know?
it won't. But like the enemies you're fighting, you know, like, are you willing to the game to be like you're gonna be fighting way above your grade? You know what I
Uh,
mean?
I don't like no, I don't like that idea for a combat oriented game.
We don't should rely on movies as well, right?
Sure.
Or I mean, we could fight Loki in a army of aliens war.
Sure. Okay. Let me
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
we don't have to be out there fighting super gods, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you're worried about.
That's what I
Uh
want to know. Yeah.
yeah, so let me kind
Let
of
me change to
distinguish.
this. Okay.
Yeah, let me ask kind of
Correct.
like a different way. There's two kind of topics here. One is kind of like what our power levels of the enemies are and what sort of differentials we want in our party, more or less. I don't mind that much what level of power we're facing, as long as we're kind of like, facing the same amount of power. I
Mm-hmm.
think power differentials in a combat oriented game sound bad. But I guess I want to be a powerful character. So maybe somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
if they want to play a less powerful character, that's fine.
I don't think that I'm going to be. I mean, I'm going to be playing a interesting character.
Hmm.
I'll just tell you straight up. I've already kind of decided what I want to do.
Okay.
I'm going to be playing a character whose trope is that they are unlucky and they
Mm.
make other people unlucky
He has an
as
aura
well.
of
I haven't.
things go wrong. You know, it's like supernatural thing
And
going
Gotcha.
on. Right?
I'm doing this because I think this will be a great idea for me to practice creating, environmental things that to happen to me and to other people that are kind of not
Gotcha.
directly related to just punching someone in the face. You know, maybe maybe I don't know. Something falls on their head or a bunch of marbles get spilled on the floor and they slip and fall, so things like that.
Hmm.
But I'll be taking it seriously.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense.
Okay, so okay, let me propose the following. Okay, let's
Sure.
review these points,
Mhm.
and then if we agree, we can move to characters, and based on your characters, we determine the rest.
Yep.
So we're gonna play with the social aspect
Mhm.
of things, right? Mainly the heroes competing for, being the best hero.
Mhm.
Are we going with the thing? So, are heroes regulament? Help me.
Regulated.
Regulated, yes. Are heroes regulated? So is there an official scale from A, B, C heroes?
I
Let's
would
keep
say
it.
yes.
I
Sure.
think so, yes, as well.
All right, 2 against 1, but I would say it would be not officially regulated. There's people just
Oh, so it's
like
like
make
the
their own
populace.
lists. So would you
Okay,
say,
but so
I think Martian
regulamentation
Manhunter is better than Superman or something like
but
that? Just they speculate on it.
regulamentation is different from, maybe we could divorce being regulated from your status. Being
Sure.
regulated is like the government recognizes you as an agent, and the police will not
Gotcha.
try to stop you. And like your social standing is really just how the populace see you, and that's unrelated to.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
So a
how
separate.
would a sorry to interrupt? How would a secret identity work? Would there be
Well,
secret identities? Would the government
yeah,
know, but
yeah.
not
That's something that
everybody
we
else?
can decide. Like, is this government body really chill on you keeping your secret identity as long as you obey the rules?
Gotcha.
Since we went for
Um.
something lighter, I'll be fine with like, oh yeah, like there's no case of you not breaking any rules, so you get to keep your secret identity. And
Sure,
maybe
I
that's
think that
why there are
works.
some people who go vigilante and like, you know, because they want to break the rules to do their hero job, and they don't want the government to know who they are for real. They prefer to work on the sidelines on their own terms. You don't have to be that hero, but
Would it be like an open type of stuff for the government? Oh, we have a list of all the superheroes. They need to follow these type of rules to be
yeah, it's
an
like, you
official
know,
superhero.
minimize
Or would it be something
damage.
like I was thinking maybe sorry to interrupt, but something like there's Spider-Man. Everyone knows Spider-Man. Cops help him, and then there's Punisher. He fucking kills bad guys, so the police also kind of tries to stop him.
Yeah, that's the deal. Like, the idea is like, if you're super, you're not really killing guys, you're just stopping them, like containing them, so the police can finish the rest of the proceedings. Like, maybe the government is more relaxed on not demanding much from you.
No, but keep it on that time. Or we're talking. Would the government have a secret list, knowing every superhero or vigilante, wherever they
Well,
keep an eye on? Would it be
realistically
an open
speaking,
list?
what would be an open list?
I mean, oh, I can go on this government website to see which superheroes are legal or something like that.
I think there would be partner or sanctioned heroes, you know, like the super soldier kind of guy, like the government try to make their own. Like, that would certainly be a thing, but I don't think it would be every hero.
Here,
Sure.
I got an idea. So Chris said that he was interested in the idea of like sponsored superheroes. So maybe we lean into that
Sure.
and make it so that there are, these heroes are, most of them are public, right? But they're basically sponsored by a company, or they're like a mascot for a company or something like that. But they are doing work, and people kind of see it's like a sports team where it's like, oh, so and so hero is better than so and so hero because they got more points today.
I'm lost.
I mean, yeah, that's an idea. I was thinking more like a guy that like sells hot dogs or something. Like, buy blah 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 hot dogs.
Well, that's a company too.
Yeah,
I'm lost. Can you
sure.
run that again?
uh, so I think Mo's taking an idea, and he's saying kind of like corporate sponsored heroes, where heroes have kind of like a corporate overlord, sort of. Is that what you're saying?
Not all of them, right?
Yeah, not all of them. Just that, like,
because then
you are a
I
citizen,
lose all
but
interest.
you're like an employee of a company, and so your identity is protected, but you're also like an employee or someone who works for a company as a mascot,
Mhm.
mascot hero.
I was just
And the
wondering,
benefits of doing so.
would like Nike sponsor the Flash or
And what would be the benefits of you as a hero to have a sponsor?
I mean you getting paid, right?
But
I
like,
think
Yeah,
that's
getting paid.
so, but
the
like,
biggest
where
benefit.
does the money go to like, if are you going to use the money as the hero or as the secret identity? You know,
I mean, presumably your secret identity, you're getting paid as an employee.
No.
but like, that there's tax. Like, money cannot be moved theoretically without being accounted for, right? How does that work? Because you're
Cryptocurrency.
basically doxing yourself if you get a sponsorship as a super, right? You have
Yeah,
to
well,
have the government
that's
needs
why
to know.
that's why I asked. Would it be like people know Bruce Wayne is Batman because people being Batman and Bruce Wayne is getting richer, something like that.
But I like use the Spider-Man example. Like, police like let him do the thing, but like he's not getting paid. He's doing it for the love of the game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that most of the comics is struggling, like he's scraping by every single time.
I'm just trying to amend the idea of basically heroes being regulated.
I don't want you to
also.
amend, man. I want you to impose what you want the things to happen. I don't want you to be the
Okay.
middleman.
So let's put heroes are regulated by the government. Yes, no. And we go through them and we just kind of like,
So yo no.
yeah. Heroes are regulated by the government.
If it's far too much,
Maybe Chris knows more. How does the Justice League kind of works? Are they?
So
they
in the
are
in the
above
Justice League,
Is
it's
it-
just kind of like they like control the earth.
pretty much, right?
Yeah, so it's like Superman and the Council of People, like they control the entire Earth, and
But then
and they nominally protect it, and they're like, it's like a invitation club. So it's like in the first episode of Justice League, it's like Justice League Unlimited. It's like they want Green Arrow to join, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Come on, Green Arrow, join Justice League. You can't be doing this vigilante stuff." Or like,
and then we have Lex Luthor that wants to regulate stuff, right?
yeah. So there's like different plot lines, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in terms of kind of like the organizing frame of the series, it's all about like there's a big club called the Justice League, and once you're in the club, then that's it. Like, so I don't think there's a lot of like drama in terms of like you're in, you're out, or I guess maybe there is. I don't know. You're also into the Justice League Unlimited thing, right?
Sure am.
I mean, it happens every now and then, and Batman is one of the ones like I don't agree, and he goes rogue on the Justice League all the time, because that's the thing that happens. They let it happen because he's Batman. He's one of the, the founders,
Mhm.
and the one who is financing the whole thing as well, financing. But you guys are playing like low time, right? Playing the lowly guys,
Sure.
or are you the Superman, or are you like the Question? Are you Green Arrow kind of deal? Like,
So okay, Mo has a character concept which is kind of like Mr. Luck and Unluck, and that seems like a kind of like medium low level superhero if I'm reading it correctly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yep.
So I was gonna match whatever he does. I was gonna do like I was probably gonna do something else that's also magical, or something like that. So kind of like Spider-Man level magic guy. So I was just gonna copy Mo more or less.
yeah.
I don't think it's a problem if you want to play a more powerful character either, because I mean,
Yes.
people team up all the time, and having the ability to attack or diversify is also good too. So, if you want to play a powerful character, go for it.
I mean, you're
I think
gonna be the
I
character
think
with the
it's
same
bad,
amount
so
of
I'm gonna play
points.
the same power level as you.
They are gonna have the same amount of points. Is mostly how you decide to spend it. So,
True.
like, mechanically, Mo will not be like flying and well, actually, no. Well, it will depend on how you build. Really.
I wanted to do a heavy movement guy, so maybe
Like
I was
speed
thinking
or-
of Spider-Man or the Flash, or even a teleporting superhero or something.
Mhm.
That sounds cool.
Wait, are you guys going one with power, one with ability, and another with resistance? Is this what's going on here?
I don't know. I basically want to shoot magic force field balls.
Okay.
That's my idea. Such that
So
it is.
okay. So heroes are not. Are you going with that?
Why don't we take it to a vote? I abstain. I don't. I think both ideas are good. What do you guys think?
Same.
I don't like it to be regulated. Maybe some of them are,
Okay.
but not
And
all
Mo?
of them.
Yeah, I think
Let's just do nil. They don't need
I
to
think-
be regulated by the government then.
we've been chatting for quite a while, so I think we might want to just like have a bunch of questions, and just bang them out with votes,
Mhm.
and we kind of like hammer out
So the tone,
premise.
tone, light threats are taken seriously. You guys playing younger heroes, right? Or younger in the sense of. Are we changing that?
We can change
What,
it.
let's take it to a vote. What do we want?
Do you want to be like it's all on the table? Like if you want to play like a.
We,
I
we're
want to be
focusing on
18.
we're focusing on the superhero part and less secret identity part.
Well, we've decided that it's going to be combat heavy. So
Maybe we can do a mix up of whatever we want to do, but then when we're not being superheroes, we kind of skip that part.
oh, you mean like we
no.
have
Leave it-
secret
leave it on the
identities
I think
background.
you
off
guys don't
camera?
understand when I mean combat heavy. Or
Sure.
when
What do you mean?
I say I want there to be combat. I think we're not like speaking the same thing.
Sure. Well, what do
Because
you mean?
the way Chris is saying is like we're gonna only do combat. That's the impression I'm getting, which is not only combat, but there will be is what I'm saying. You don't join a superhero game without like fighting a bad guy, right? You don't play a noir game without like dealing with a mystery, right?
Sure. I think that's true. So why not, in terms of your preferences, empirically, like, is this going to be like Dragon Ball Z, where it's like we're fighting this guy and we're fighting him the entire session, and then next session we get to the next phase of the fight or something like that?
Yeah, no.
Or would it be like we have a battle and then we have a sequence where we're like hanging out at home and stuff like that?
I think that's part of you as well, right? I think that's.
Oh, you
want
want to do that do that as a vote?
Because it's not my game, right?
Sure. Well, in terms of your preferences, though,
I don't know if we
how
can
much combat
replicate.
do you want?
I don't know if we can replicate what we did when we first played 3D&T. That we started slowly, and then the aliens started getting. Then we had a lot of combat, and then we had a point where we kind of
well, but we
away.
played like 2 sessions of that, and I don't think this is gonna be,
Sure. Just
Okay, let me ask you a question like this for Chris, Mo, and Silva.
Sure.
Describe like after the things we talked about, describe me like a 5-second scene of like something you kind of envision that could happen. Like what is the vibe you're going with? Because Mo described like he wants to play with the idea. He wants to play with the idea of role playing, co-creating the environment to corroborate with his powers, which is bad luck. So, kind of this Goldberg. What do you call the Goldberg machine?
Rube Goldberg machine. Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to like go with that. So I know that's a mental image he has, which is related to combat. What is kind of the thing you're imagining, Chris?
What I'm imagining, I'm in a basketball court, and there is this villain that is a hero that's turned bad, and I'm confronting them and telling them to give up, and then we're shooting, beams at each other in the basketball court, and then she gets away.
Okay.
So that's kind of like a mental image of something that I think would be cool in the game.
And you, Silva?
To be honest, I was thinking mostly on Marvel cinematic, how they work. That's a big battle, and then there's something slower, people talking or whatever.
There's kind of 2 main plots going on, kind of deal. Like
there's a big fight, and then there's a slow part where we just resolve what happened.
Okay, all right. So I think we're mostly aligned, honestly. Let's build characters and based on the characters, we can come up with the rest, or at least let's do the concept phase. I don't want to take too much time, and I can help
Mhm.
individually. Nick knows how to make a character. Mo kind of got ahead of himself and made some as well.
I did. I've been reading.
So let's start with your concept, Chris. So
Sure.
you're talking about a guy who can like shoot stuff, right?
Yeah. So what I'm imagining is like his power is that he can create little force field balls, and that's kind of like his like he projects them and they kind of like smash into the enemy. And
Can you do anything more with them, like make
yes,
shapes, make
so like
platforms?
the idea is that that's kind of like his base form of his power, and he's kind of learning, and he can kind of create something in front of him, like a deflection, but that's
Okay.
harder, and he could learn to do something else, but by default it's kind of like he's
Okay.
projecting a spherical force field ball at someone to hurt them.
That's very much so doable. Do you think it's more magic, or it's like a natural thing he has inside of him?
I think
Like, is it like a Green Lantern thing or like a Doctor Strange thing? You know?
I would prefer to do it magical.
Okay.
I'm getting the vibe that Mo's power is a little bit magical themed.
Yeah, it's kind of karmic.
Yeah, so
So-
that like maybe there's like a ancient rune of force, and basically that's inscribed on my body somewhere for some reason, and that allows me to kind of like tap into this force field power thing.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what I would do.
Okay. I'm thinking now, looking at the time, like, do we want to go with full character creation or just maybe looking at options and discussing things? And
I think if everyone's kind of a pro already, maybe I could just do the force field character on my own time. In terms of the crunchy parts, I would want to ask kind of like more about the world building parts, which is like we're doing kind of street level. Let's just assume that my guy is blessed by Odin or something, blessed by a god, and that's where he gets his powers. He's kind of like he's relatively young. He's 18. We all know each other. Did we decide on that?
Sure.
Yeah, how you guys wanna, like,
I
are
think
you like a team? Do you see yourselves as a team, or is it like, oh, I know who I can call right now?
I would think that we should probably be a team. Or do you guys want to do kind of like the meeting each other sequence?
I
How do you
like
guys wanna do
your idea of maybe we're blessed by different gods.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
an
sure.
interesting
So
idea.
are we doing like the? There is a series, I think, in DC.
Yeah. Do we want actually question, do we want the
With, like,
entire world
different
to be kind of
pantheons?
themed like that? Because I think that would be cool.
I think
Flexible
that'll
enough.
make some. Maybe that's one aspect of things. You know, like how in Marvel you have Norse mythology, DC it's Greek.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
we
yeah.
can go like, you can have like this mythology kind of being like the real one, but you also have high tech, because I think the main thing of supers is like the diversity is the appeal.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fine.
I kind of like the idea that we're all characters that are blessed or cursed by a god, and we're kind of
a different god.
probably a different god.
Yeah,
but
probably different gods.
maybe from the same pantheon if we choose one. And
No, I mean different pantheons. Like, do you want to go with that?
all right, well, I don't care.
like Aztec, Egyptian, and I don't know,
Yeah, something like that.
Chinese.
But
Yeah,
if we're all God blessed, then maybe we kind of are drawn to each other. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
how come we're both at the same place at the same time again? Like, must be our gods trying to bring us together.
Yeah, I like that
So
idea. How would a
we
society?
could go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
would think, how would a society that still believes in Greek gods work? I think that would be a cool concept.
But I think then we go to high concept for what we're trying to
Oh yeah,
do,
sure.
which is like it's like today's world, but you have heroes. It's like in DC they never address that, like, Hades is real, but there's still churches. And it's like, yeah, Constantine exists. Like, how does that work?
Oh
So
yeah, sure.
they never
Yeah.
address that. Which I guess I'm sure there's another. Well, actually, issue 25 of, but like the overall is like they all coexist, and you don't ask too many questions. Just eat popcorn. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, I think that works better. Which is, I was just wondering.
So, uh, due to how it is, do you want to start with like a conflict, so we kind of go high action and kind of go from there, like see how things naturally fall into?
yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. Just start at the beginning of the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine with me.
Okay. What else?
So I was just doing a quick search. I think it's Hermes, the god of
He's the
travel.
speedy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Travel.
speed travel.
Because I wanted to do a movement heavy character.
And if you want to go more Roman, you can call him Mercury. Are you gonna do a speed guy?
Yeah, I wanted to do a speed guy.
Okay.
The super movement
Cool.
advantage. Or even
Cool.
the teleporting one. So he's so fast that he teleports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could work.
But I don't know if he would be a more power or ability.
Basically, to deal damage is power. Ability would be like dodging, getting
Yeah.
to the woman in time to save her.
Yeah, so it's
That kind of
probably
stuff.
ability heavy.
Yeah. Which
More mana.
it breaks very symmetry because it's acceleration plus mass equal, like, no, we're gonna hit the rules. Maybe if you go full ability, you can say, and not too much power, you can say that you avoid punching people in high velocity because that would shred your arms, that would destroy your arms. So like, that's why I don't use my powers to physically attack.
That makes sense.
Gotcha.
We can rationalize. We can use comic logic,
All right. Because I wanted to do a Spider-Man character, but then
Mhm.
it would be just
You
it would
can
be just
delineate,
another
like,
Spider-Man. So
what would be an adjacent thing,
yeah, but I,
It's just
I
that
like
the problem
I
is
like
like Spider-Man movement is so unique that you cannot do
Yes.
something that but different without just being obvious.
Yeah, I know,
Who's
but
gonna
that's
tell?
why I like the movement guy with the super speed. Not actually super speed. It would be more like Quicksilver from
Uh-huh.
the
Which
Marvel
is
that gets
super
fucking
speed,
shot like
yeah.
a fucking idiot. But yeah, something like that.
What was the question, Chris?
No, I was just making some silly comment.
Okay.
No question.
But I like the idea of being we're being blessed by different gods.
Okay. All right.
So my
You know-
character would be more supportive and getting people in and out of stuff,
Mhm.
less punching people up. Sort of like the character I did when we played the the other time, but I did the
Uriah?
yeah
with
with
Uriah?
Uriah. That I did the shield guy,
Uh-huh.
but instead of a shield, it would be just movement.
Okay.
As backwards as it is, my character is probably going to be trying to get up close to people as much as he can, even though it's
Yeah,
not going to
Tassi
be
show up.
good for himself or you guys or the people that we're fighting. But he knows that he has to get close to people in order to make
To
his powers work.
transfer the stank, the monkey's paw curse. Curse. Wouldn't your guy's name be like Curse or Hex or
I'm looking for deities
Omen?
or gods of unluck or fortune, because I I think maybe
Uh-huh.
whatever god whatever god has
You,
cursed
you
this
can play with
individual.
like a trickster god and as well. That archetype
Oh,
would fit.
yeah,
That's
good
probably an
idea
easier
too.
god archetype to find than like unluck, the god of bad luck. I don't think there's many. You can find like a Sumerian god or something.
Yeah, there's so many. I could go with. I don't know.
You can look on later on as well. So Chris, just kind of give you an overall, right, from character creation. You have 10 points. You're gonna you don't need to use and you shouldn't use all your points on your 3 attributes. Because with the same points, you need to use 1 point to get a skill, which could be in your Portuguese character sheet, it is written as pericias. And that's like animals, art, mystics, perception. You choose one, and anything that applies that, you get a gain. So you add another die to that roll, be it an attack, or resistance, or whatever.
Okay.
And each skill is 1 point. Then you have the advantages, which is what you want to look most to kind of see what you can do. Those are the powers proper. So like acceleration, quick, arena. There's a bunch of them, and you can have up to -2 in disadvantages. So when you get a disadvantage, you get a point back basically. So if you have the amnesia disadvantage, you get 2 points back, and you cannot have any other disadvantage because you cannot have only a maximum of -2. So you can get some more points to put into your character through disadvantages.
Got it.
As for equipment, like 3D&T, it doesn't really mess much with equipment. There is a mechanic, and you'll see on your character sheet on your inventory. It says inventory, you have like common, rare, and something else, right? Basically, it's retroactive. You can at any moment say, "Oh, I got this beforehand," and pull out of your backpack or your belongings a thing, and you tag that common, like you used your common item.
Got it.
Because like even if you like, I am Iron Man, your suit is not really an item; it's part of your character, so it does not go in your suit, your equipment. It's just your character, you know.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
you don't need to bother with like, oh, my powers come through this one ring. It doesn't need to be a physical thing, you know. Though
Okay,
there is a disadvantage that it could make it tie to an item. There is a thing.
Okay, so given the character concept that I want to do, which is he shoots force balls and he also
I
can
would
protect
choose
himself.
magic.
Okay, is that a power?
It is an advantage for 2 points.
There's the if you want to do a shield stuff, there's also the one I
but
use.
the shield is just a shield power. He could
Yeah.
get both, but magic is more versatile. Like if you want to make like tiles or a ramp for you to run and like jump, he would use magic.
Okay.
Like because with magic it's kind of like do all kind of deal. Like it can be a giant hammer, or you can like enchant something. Like you can like make an armor around someone, you know, and that would. There are many bonuses you can give and damage as well with magic.
Okay. So my guy is specifically like force powers, force fields stuff. So does magic work for that, or are there other
Yeah,
powers
I would
that would
suggest you get
also?
both. You get magic and you get the one Silva was talking about.
What was he talking about?
He was talking about.
I think it's
That was a
the,
technique, Silva, wasn't it? That's not an advantage.
yeah, it is a. To be
Yeah.
honest, I don't remember.
It is a technique. So I would suggest you get magic. And or let's see. You get flight as well if you want to fly. Magic and flight.
Gotcha. Is there any specific? So for magic, that involves kind of like shooting stuff. Is there a protective?
Yeah,
Ability?
you can get a technique which is unrelated to advantage. But let me see how. I forgot how you can get techniques.
Okay.
Techniques require some sort of skill or other stuff or
But for
stats.
you to start with.
Oh, if it's not legendary, it costs just one.
Yeah. So there is a technique. The common techniques you can start a game with it with 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
Do notice that you still need to meet the requirements.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm
Mystic Barrier
scrolling
was the
down.
one you chose, Silva, and yeah, and one of the requirements was magic. So
Okay.
it's two things that work in tandem, basically.
Mystic Barrier.
So you can get magic, and with your remaining points, you can get like many techniques that are tied to magic to have really specific things that you can do or make it stronger, basically.
Okay.
Like a better barrier.
Gotcha. So I
let's
don't
see.
need to select each of this when I choose the technique. It's more of
If you okay, so if you choose the barrier,
Mhm.
you have all of those effects that you can apply if you spend an extra magic point.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so in building my character, I need mysticism as a skill.
Yeah,
I need magic as a skill.
as
Magic as
advantage.
advantage.
Yeah,
Mystic Barrier as a technique.
yeah. And there's another one here, debilitating grimoire, I think. What's that in English?
The Grimoire
Anyhow,
is
it's also magic, but what you can do, you can tie in, you can debuff characters more precisely, like making their feet heavy, or you can like make
Gotcha.
like Green Lantern, like a shackle with a ball, a chain and ball in the end on their feet. You can like role play different ways.
Okay. So I'm going to dragoon you into
Explore.
helping me make this character.
Yeah.
So I've got, in terms of my budget, I've got 10 points. So I need to spend 1, or I need to spend 2 on magic.
Yeah.
I need to spend how much for Mystic Barrier?
1.
1. And I need to use the mysticism skill to use
which
magic.
costs 1.
It costs 1. Okay. So then the rest of it can be spent on more stuff.
Your attributes, you need to get them in order, because you do not leave them for last.
Right. Yeah, let's just assume that the rest of them go to attributes. I think
you still can have a disadvantage to get back some points to buy back.
Okay. I'll look at the disadvantages. Let's assume I'm not taking any disadvantages now. So in order to blast stuff, I think I would
a normal
do
attack.
Normal attack.
You can use
power.
your magic.
That's a power attack, right?
That's just your advantage. That's just something you can do because you have magic.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for the stats. Do the stats influence that? Which stats
Oh,
should I
so
use?
yeah, to do damage with your magic is your power, but to do other things with your magic is ability.
Okay.
So if you want to do the barrier, that would be ability. But if you want to like throw a projectile, that is power.
Okay. I think I would do 3, 1, 2. So 3 power, 1 ability, and 2 resilience. And the resilience comes from like in the world, it comes from me using the force fields to kind of like
Yeah,
deflect
it's
stuff.
for you to negate damage.
Okay, so I'm spending a total of 6 points on stats, 1 point on mysticism, 2 points on magic, 1 point on mystic barrier. And that's kind of like the major choices for the character. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else I need to do in terms of like huge choices?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantages. Okay. Let's go.
I mean, you're gonna play as a basic. Everyone is playing as basic human, right?
I think the premise is the meteor premise, right? Or no, sorry, we're not doing the meteor premise. We're doing blessed by the gods. So we may be like demigods.
I'm asking because you have some archetypes here which are like kind of a starter kit.
Yeah,
but
let me
like
go
there's
down
like
to that.
you know, so just keep it human. Though no, yeah, that's it. So your disadvantage, you could have a -1 disadvantage if you want. You know, it would be cool if you guys had the code disadvantage tied to your god's creed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go to disadvantage and go for code, you know, you got, for example, the code of honesty, or I think it would be cool. Like it's kind of like you got the power, but now you also have the drawback. And maybe your character does not align to the code, but you know, you don't need to. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of figure out what the Norse gods would want of me. So I may select that one. If I get extra points here, what do you think I should put them in?
It's up to you. Your attributes being a good number is always good, especially
Okay.
because, like, for example, your magic points are tied to your ability score. It's 5 times ability score.
Okay.
And you're gonna be
Gotcha.
using a lot of magic points to do your magic advantage. Because your magic
Yeah.
advantage, what it does, right? You use 1 MP, and you can add +1 to any test, and then you role play how the magic is doing that. You know,
Okay.
magic hands, arrows, whatever. With 3 magic points, you add +3 to your attack.
Gotcha.
So you basically, the magic skill makes you allows you to burn magic points to increase your rolls.
Okay,
And then
but
it's up to you to roleplay what that looks like.
okay, so can I shoot these magical projectiles without spending MP?
Yes, that will be just a projectile attack.
Okay. Let's see. I think a curse might be interesting, but I think your Mo's unlucky character is probably Mr. Curse, right?
Well, you all share Mo's curse basically because he has an aura about it.
Right.
It's the stank. I've nicknamed the stank.
I think I've decided my character is going to be named Whelp.
Whelp?
Yes, because he's cursed by Coyote, the Navajo trickster god, trickster spirit.
Okay.
So that'll be fun.
What disadvantages are you thinking about, Silva? I would like you all to have
Oh, I
at
like
least
that,
one. I'm not gonna force it, but I think it makes for interesting characters and gives you another point.
I think
At least a
Fury might be
-1.
fun. That's like a berserker.
Fury. Oh yeah, it has a mechanic, right? That every time you lose health, you roll to see if you go on a frenzy or not. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
you lose control and you go for the guy who attacked you. If you lose control, it can be a liability.
That sounds kind of annoying in a combat heavy game. But
You can have ammunition as a disadvantage. Restriction always makes for a good disadvantage too. You can flavor it. For just 1 point, it can be like a rare type of thing, you know? Like only when you're wet or only when you're hungry that restriction comes into play. And all it do is that it makes you have to pay a double of magic points to use your thing. So if you were to use 1, now you use 2. Only when the restriction is active. So it makes it harder for you, you know? You can make it tied to a tool, your power.
let's see. A tool sounds kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. So if you tie it to a 2,
Like a hammer.
it depends. Yeah, like 1 point or 2 points. For 1 point, is a skill it is tied to. Without that tool, you don't get any bonuses for that skill. And for 2, it's an advantage or technique that uses magic point. You just cannot use it without that. But the tool must be something you can either get a new one or make a new one, even in the battlefield. So it can be something you could like makeshift. It's not
Gotcha.
like you, yeah. It would be like the Green Lantern's ring shattered, but
Yeah.
you pay
I think
1 action point and you get the a chink of it to use, you know, in the last moment.
I think a silver hatchet tool makes sense.
Silver hatchet.
Yes.
Who are you going
So
with?
it's not like a giant axe, but it's like a small small blade. So that would be a -1. Choose a skill you possess. So that would be choosing mysticism. Is that correct?
Yeah. If you're not in hold of that hatchet, you do not get the gain for that skill, so you lose that extra die.
Okay, I think that for mysticism, that's what I would choose, right? Or does it
Be a
mean
hatchet.
advantage?
That's for 2 points, and then that you cannot use that thing without the tool.
Okay,
That's
I think a mystical hatchet, silver hatchet inscribed with a bunch of runes is my
And if you
mysticism
lose it, what would be the equivalent of getting a new one or
we can
making
say
a
that
new
I
one?
have it as kind of like an artifact from the Norse lands or whatever. But if I were to lose it, I could recreate a copy out of a normal hatchet that I inscribe with runes.
Okay. All right.
So that would be the idea. Is that kind of like interesting enough? Maybe there's some special
so,
thing
yeah.
I need to do.
It is a tool. The tool
Maybe I
can be
need to
something
bless
big
it.
too. Like it could be a house, it could be a place.
Right.
The advantage is that you're not gonna lose that, but then you cannot take it with you. You know, you have to.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense if I want to use mysticism to shield myself. Okay, so I'll take a tool and I'll bump ability up 1. So I've got
Okay.
3 power, 2 ability, 2 resilience,
Yeah.
1 mysticism, 2 magic advantage, 1 mystic barrier, and -1 hatchet for a total of 10.
So now, based on these 3 attributes, right? Your action
Mhm.
points, you get 1 per power.
Okay.
Your mana is ability times 5, and your HP is resistance times 5.
Okay. So I've got 3 action points, 10 mana, 10 HP.
Yeah. There's an advantage for extra mana as well. So maybe that's something you would like to fiddle with.
Sure. 1 sec.
You could get extra HP as well, or extra action points.
That's an
And
advantage.
action points is not for doing extra actions in a turn. It's
Mhm.
what it does is it can give you a gain or negate 1 loss.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Okay. You said that there's a technique or there's a advantage about mana.
For the tool disadvantage?
No, for you mentioned something. Oh, there's a plus mana. Okay, I see it. I
Yeah, you
found
can
it.
get more magic points. If you're not going to be burning a lot of MP.
I think I want to do that instead of giving myself ability.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
okay.
it's a
So what?
lot. It's plus 10 MP for the thing. Every time you buy this, you can buy more than once. You can stack it up.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to huh. Well, hold on. I see that there's a special defense advantage that I may want to take instead of that technique.
Special. Oh yeah, there is one. Okay, you got different. Yeah, so there's a lot of them. You have to keep a list of all of it. Wait, it's all of them? You don't choose? Oh no, it's one bullet per time you buy this. So each of these defenses is you need to buy it for, like, the dodge one, you can get that. But if you buy again for another point, then you can get the Titanic one, So you need to buy more times to get, you don't get all of them. And they cost magic points, they cost mana as well.
Oh, okay. I think I'll stick with Mystic.
Anything else? We could
Okay.
go over the details along the week.
Yeah. So let's try to. Can we do kind of like a little demo combat of what that would look like?
Yeah. You know what? Let's make you fight since you have character sheets in hand. Like, this is a training session. Okay.
Sure.
Let's Mo. I know you already have your character sheet. I know Silva's making his. I don't know if Silva finished.
No, I did not. But go ahead.
I'm still
I
working
kinda
on mine too.
Sure. Well, we could just like
Okay,
start with an
I can
attack
pull
roll.
up. I can pull up one here. Wait. Yeah. Let me get my notes. Okay. Evil robot man jumps out of the sewer. He picks up the lid and throw it like a frisbee towards you, Chris. So what he does, right? He's going to roll his attack, and you will roll your defense. So for this one, you throw 2 dice because he has a skill in fighting, so he throws 2 dice, and he's going to add 5 because that's his power.
Okay, one
so
second.
he got a 13 attack. Oh, and I'm not showing my dice. Wait.
Okay.
Here. So he got a 13. That's his attack power.
Okay. I instinctively raise up a purple force field, blocking the manhole cover as it shoots towards me. What do I roll?
You now. This is your resistance attack. Yeah. So you're gonna roll. You use magic, right? Use mysticism, right? I mean, you're using like the force field, right?
I could use. I mean, I don't know. So like,
because
what are my options? I should say. Let's say I don't use my mystic force field.
Because if you don't use your skill, you don't get a second die.
Okay. Let's try that one first. So okay, my powers are drained. I don't have any mana left, so I just try to block it as best I can. What should I roll?
That's resistance plus your dice. Because
resistance
you have
is the third stat, right?
Yeah, is the R.
So I have 2. And so I roll 2 dice.
No. You add +2 to the dice.
Okay.
And why do you have only 1d6 here?
Because I'm not using magic.
No. But do you have the skill mysticism? You got that, right?
I do.
So applies. Then you get a gain.
Why does it apply?
Because it's a skill.
That doesn't
skill. Because mysticism, the skill is I understand about mystical stuff. So when I do anything related to mystical stuff, I get a gain. Your magic advantage is mechanically you burn an MP to add another plus to your dice.
Sorry, 1 second. Let me look at this. So the technique is Mystic Barrier.
Which you said you're not using, right? Just a normal defense. That's what
right.
defense looks like.
So normal defense is you do an appropriate skill. And that allows you to...
You get a gain. So you would be rolling 2 dice.
Actually, so, okay. Hold on 1 second. Can we go to page?
The idea is that whenever you make a roll, you make a
Mhm.
test,
Mhm.
and that skill is being used or is related to, you get a gain. Doesn't need to be an attack. Doesn't need to be an ability check. If it applies, you get a gain. So you can use you could use art for your damage. You know, if you're using your art to attack.
And that would be what, like a paint attack or something like that?
Depends.
Art?
Yeah, it could be music. It could be like you make a drawing, and drawing comes out of the paper, and attacks the
Okay.
guy. It's up to roleplay.
Okay.
And
Yeah. All right. Yes. So let's do an even simpler scenario, which is like, my mind has been wiped, so I don't know if I have magic or not. Let's
Okay.
try that first of all.
So he
So
throws the manhole cover at you like a frisbee.
and I block with my arms. Ah.
Yeah. So you're not using your skill now. So you
Nope.
roll 1 die,
Mhm.
and you add your resistance number.
Okay. So that's a total of 8.
Yeah, he had a 13. So
Okay.
the damage you take is the difference. You subtract your 8 from my damage.
Okay. So I take 5 damage.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So let's rewind. The same thing happens. At this time, I'm using a force field.
Okay, I'm gonna keep the 13 here. And even if you don't use any mana points, okay,
Mhm.
you're just role playing like a basic barrier, magic barrier thing.
Mhm.
You still get your thing because you're using your skill mysticism, so you get 2 die, and you add your resistance.
Okay.
You got
Another 6.
Yeah, same thing goes as well. So the manhole
Okay.
like breaks through the shield, like shatters the magic barrier and hits you.
Okay. Let's try some of these other scenarios. So this time,
You use your advantage. You're gonna burn magic mana points.
I'm going to use my advantage. Yes. So this time, I have a D6 from
2d6
normal, and then one from
skill.
mysticism, and then another one from mystic barrier for burning magic.
Wait. I think does Mystic Barrier give you gain? I don't think it's the case, is it?
No, it says, okay, for 1 MP, you conjure a mystic barrier as a reaction. Your defense roll is normal, but you can choose to use mysticism instead of fight. You can also spend an additional 1 MP to use one of these effects. Okay, so it sounds like I need to use MP to use mysticism. Would you say that that's correct?
No. You never use MP to make use of your skill.
If you go to page
Yeah, give me the page.
151, it seems to say that.
151. No, the technique Mystic Barrier costs 1 MEP.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is as a reaction. Okay. Against an attack. Your defense roll is normal. So it's normal, but you can choose to use the mysticism skill instead of fight. You can also spend 1 additional MP to use on these effects. So one of these effects, you would add one of these to your roll.
Okay. Are you sure?
You have to choose one.
It seems kind of like I have to spend mana to use mysticism.
To use Mystic Barrier.
You spend it to use Mystic Barrier. So
Sure.
I'm using Mystic Barrier.
I'm using Mystic Barrier to activate to select using mysticism instead of fight. That's my reading of the rules. But we can also just say
no. Nicholas is saying that you get to, unless I'm misunderstanding, you get to add mysticism to your roll inherently because you have it as a skill.
Okay.
Like you just get to add. So because you're using Mystic Barrier with mysticism, you get to add it. Right, Nicholas? Isn't that how it works?
Okay, here.
So oops, I just edited it. Oops.
You can edit it?
Well, I added a comment, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
So I'm presenting that page.
Here, every time you make a test related to a skill that you have, you get an extra die.
Okay.
All characters must have at least one. So, yeah, that's probably a typo because you
Okay.
get mysticism for free regardless. Like,
Okay.
that is unrelated.
Cool. If I'm defending myself with mystical means, I get to use mysticism
Yeah.
without spending magic. Okay, cool. That's
And
fine.
now for 1 MP, you're activating like one of these, unless it says like, do more and get more.
Okay. Let's say I do.
See, perfect
let's do
defense.
solid. Yeah.
That means that you negate all damage.
What does that mean? If I succeed or I
Even if you fail the roll, like you negate the damage. Because a
Doesn't that
perfect
seem
defense is you don't take chip damage.
Wait,
You
hold on,
basically
wait.
get a block for free, as long as you have magic points.
This seems insanely overpowered, Nicholas.
It is, yeah. But you have to remember that monsters can get deactivate power for 1 or.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
They have their ways of working around.
Okay. We could do that.
And that applies only to you, so you cannot save people.
Mm-hmm.
You can only save you,
Let's see if any of the other ones make sense. Oh, okay. Criticals. How do I do a critical?
A critical is when you beat the target number or the enemy's roll by double.
Okay. Got you.
Oh, sorry. A crit is when you roll like 2 6s.
A crit is when you roll
Then you double your attribute. So if you were adding +2, now it becomes a +4.
Okay, so some of these have an effect that says when it crits, it does this or that. Each critical in your defense also recovers an additional 2 MP. That'll be the draining add-on. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So that was I defended. So now I'm going to try to attack. Your manhole cover is nothing compared to this.
Just let me check one thing here on the perfect defense, because I was thinking, because you can get like 30 mana points, so you can basically get like 30
Yeah,
perfect
this
defenses
pretty,
for free.
It's pretty strong if I could just like infinitely shield. It's
Okay,
just like
so
D&D.
a perfect defense. Okay, a perfect defense is when your defense test doubles. So if the attacker rolls a 4.
Mhm.
No, so if the attacker rolls a 4 and the target rolls 8 or more, that's a perfect defense. And then the target gets no damage. It says some powers give you that for free. So it's basically that. It's not even like you double your thing, right? It's just you get a perfect defense. That's insane. But we'll stick with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if my character is too overpowered, we could just house rule it.
No, we keep it as it is. Because you can only put it on yourself,
I mean, the amount of things you added to show us the amount of mana points you use. So you just be burning your mana points to defend. So at one point, you probably have no mana, which happened to be the last time I used it a lot.
All right. I guess that's the weakness. Cool.
Mm-hmm. The only way to recharge your HP and your mana is like resting, and resting does not necessarily mean sleeping for at least 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. It does not mean that.
No, but because we're playing in you guys are a bit like demigodsy in a way, so you can describe like meditation or mantra, but it's resting for 8 hours. You recover all of it.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to cover now that we've kind of like locked into the characters? Do we have like a specific city that we want to play in or anything like that?
We have to see like, well, how does your power work? Like, what is the effect of your bad luck aura?
Oh yeah. Basically, anyone within close range of me, regardless if they're friend or foe, takes -1 to their
So, okay,
rolls.
so close range.
Yep.
Okay.
Which basically
Close
means if they're
range.
next to me or
Yeah, it needs to be like within, like you walking a few steps and touching them. So it's a really tight range, right?
if that's what it says, let me check close.
Yeah, let me see the. Yeah. It's 1 meter, so it
Okay.
only affects. You need to be engaged with them in order for
Yeah.
them to be affected. Okay.
So it's not a big deal, but we'll keep it in mind.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what does it do again? It gives them loss.
Yeah, it gives them -1 to
Oh,
any of their checks, anything.
Okay,
powers,
-1, not loss.
anything.
Okay, -1. It's not that grievous. Okay.
Unless it says loss. It says. Oh yeah, it is loss.
Okay, so it is a loss. So that means that if you lose an extra die, the minimum you always be rolling is 1, and the maximum is always 3. You're never going above or beyond those numbers.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, so you cannot have 0 die, but you can have -2 losses. You can be in the negative. You're still rolling 1 die, but if you get a gain, you cut off just 1 loss. You are still rolling 1 die. You see?
Right.
That can be a thing. So you do want to keep tabs of your gains and losses, because it's kind of a scale thing. It's like a gauge.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The rest is kind of that, Remember chip damage, you're always taking chip damage unless you get a perfect defense. Either by rolling double or using your magics to negate damage. And that would be it. We
Okay.
can kind of align the rest through Discord.
Sure. What do we need to do over Discord?
Just finish the characters. Like if you have any questions, we can work it around, because
Okay.
you have UNPC later on, and I want to give you some time.
Yeah. I've got a UNPC, so
I have too.
yeah.
We could
you
also
certainly
do before we start the next session, do a quick rundown
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I think it would be good. Like we join in 15, 20 minutes
Yeah,
early.
so
refresh everything.
I'm not very concerned about kind of like the crunchy parts.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you feel like we need to know about the setting, or are we just gonna feel it out?
Let's figure it out. It's like basic, big city in a Super's world. Kind of like my picture, your picture,
Mhm.
and it's like undistinct city on planet Earth. Western city, big city in Western world.
Gotcha.
And you guys can co-create as much as you want.
Sick.
Awesome. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I'll send my character once it's done into the chat.
Yeah. Any questions drop there? You guys can get a picture, draw, generate one for your character. Come up with a good name for your character.
Would you guys like to use the? It's a quick question. Would you guys like to use the thing I did with the overlay bars?
I'm
HTML?
I'm a bit hurry, so you can drop that on the thing.
All
You
right.
can type that in Discord.
I'll explain better then.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I'd be down to
Thanks.
use it.
All right. I'm gonna click
Cool.
end stream.